Je m'appelle Nicolas, je suis institutrice.
Je m'appelle Laura, je suis professeur.
Je m'appelle Laura, je suis professeur.
Je m'appelle Nathan. Je m'appelle Carl. Je m'appelle Ethan. Je m'appelle Chloe. Je m'appelle Charlie. Je m'appelle Alicia.
In many schools, staff are working together, sharing skills, planning and resources to deliver a modern foreign languages curriculum. Team teaching allows a more experienced teacher to support less confident members of the team. In this programme, we'll see how one primary school teacher in Mansfield is supporting colleagues to deliver French at Key Stage 2. With a diverse range of previous experiences, staff had mixed feelings when they found out they would be teaching French.
I'm an NQT in the school, having started in September, and having been told that I was having to teach French to the Year 5 and 6s was quite frankly frightening.
I was really quite excited because I really enjoyed languages myself at school, and I did do French A-level, so I had a basic understanding of the language and vocabulary and the grammar, but I haven't really used it since I was 18.
I quite welcomed the idea because it's something that I do feel children benefit from if they can pick up French at this level prior to moving on to secondary school. So I said yes, I'd be delighted to.
My degree was a B.Ed in French with a specialism in Key Stage 2 and 3, so I did all my training in middle school. I was able to start to apply those different skills with the children here. Bonjour la classe. Bonjour. Ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Très bien, super. Okay, learning objectives then for today. We're going to recap our knowledge of the vowel sounds A, E, I, O, U. I hope you've remembered them. And we're going to use our thinking skills as well. Okay, montrez-moi où. Où. Montrez-moi O. O.
As an ideal, we would like to see a language teacher in every school, or some language teaching in every school in Nottinghamshire, and sustainable language teaching, so that we don't just have the teacher who does teaching throughout the school and then leaves, that whatever is in place when he or she leaves will enable the language teaching to progress.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Le genou. They are my own class. So we decided that we were going to try and follow a cross-curricular approach with our French, go to time with our science, which is on healthy eating and our bodies.
Well, in French, we've been learning about the different parts of the body and how to say them properly. Tête means head. Your shoulders are les épaules, and pied means feet.
So we've learnt the body parts, we've learnt some foods, and we've classified them according to healthy and non-healthy foods. Eddie.
Les frites.
Les frites, oui, super, les frites. Jared.
Le gâteau.
Oui, c'est ça, très bien. Je n'aime pas le gâteau.
We play this game and we've got to say how many things there and what you call it in English and French. So we're sorting them into foods that we don't like and foods that we do, and it's been really, really good.
Why don't we put them into groups now? Yeah. Put them, these lot into groups as well. No, because they're not.
I wanted to just check how we were doing with our sound and spelling, which is what we're really pushing on to link with our literacy, and then recap with the children how much they'd learnt of the vocabulary, whether they recognised the different verbs and whether they could recognise negatives and positive phrases. So what changes the je to the positive to the negative there? What did you do? The ne pas, brilliant, well done. Why is that un and that one un?
That one's masculine, that one's feminine.
Right, so if you're having numbers together, could we move those ones over then as well?
Yeah, we need them too.
Yeah, brilliant, well done. We're trying to get the children to think for themselves a little bit more. I don't want them to always think there's a right or wrong answer, which they very much want ticks, crosses in their books. And I want them to get out of that habit. So giving them lots of choices.
There's 2 noses and 2 ears.
Is there anyone who could explain to me which groups they made?
At first we did it into food and body parts, Then we did it into the food that we do like and the food that we don't like. On the don't like one, it's je n'aime pas les glaces or whatever.
Okay, so what had changed between j'aime and je n'aime pas? What do we add on to make it negative?
The
no
and a pas.
and the pas, super.
We did body parts from top to bottom, and then we did the foods that we don't have, and the foods that we do have, and foods that we like and foods that we don't like.
Brilliant. How did you know the difference between the ones that were I like and the ones that were I have? What's the difference between them?
There's je n'aime pas, and then je n'ai.
Je n'ai pas. So je n'ai pas is I don't have, isn't it? And je n'aime pas is I don't like. Did I make you think this morning? Yeah. Okay, you did a really, really good job with that. Okay, pour finir. Mettez les cartes dans les paquets, s'il vous plaît. Très vite. Dépêchez-vous. They love the French, and to be honest, there's no real behaviour problems during the French lessons because it's something different and they're able to engage with what they're doing.
I think it's an excellent way to learn a different language and stuff. It's really, really fun, and because you get to play games and stuff, and it's just really, really fun. And I think that everyone in every school should do it.
Nicola's been really crucial in getting the school going with this. She was teaching our classes and we were supporting, so we were learning from her.
Just sort of share your experiences with others is always helpful. I struggle for ideas a lot of the time to sort of reinforce the language with the children. I'm still learning, I'm still trying to keep up with what Nicola's doing, so she'll teach some of my lessons and then I'll teach a few as well. But the planning meetings do help. Nicola talks us through everything really carefully, explains the activities so we know exactly what we're doing.
In all of our planning, we go over any of the vocabulary, make sure that they've got that clear with the pronunciation and that they know the games. I make most of the resources so that they've not got to deal with that side of things, and it does seem to be working very well. The first part of the activity is they're going to have these vowel cards in front of them. We're going to start off by saying whichever sound it is and asking them to show the card. So if we want to, we can use montrez-moi for show me. We could do o,
Yeah.
o.
Yeah, okay.
Océane.
Montrez-moi, and I.
E.
Okay.
Sorry. Yep, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's really
I remember the acrobat one. All the children seem to remember that
the
one.
acrobat one. Yeah,
acrobat,
that one's okay, isn't it? So that'll be the warm-up. We also need to move on to actually saying some words with the sounds in, so they've actually got to really listen for that.
Right.
In the word like D, that they need to be listening for
Yes,
that sound.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
is that
fine.
all right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So will you give us a list of the words that you want us to use with
Yeah,
them?
I've got a list. Sorry, it's just scribbled out, but
Okay,
yeah,
that's
those are there, so we can use those to refer to, and then we can all use the same words as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
lovely.
that's
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay. We can start with the names of the body parts.
Yeah.
Right,
La
yeah,
tête,
tête,
épaule,
épaule, genou, and go through all those.
Yeah.
And then we
I know
can
those
use
well.
toucher again to recap that vocabulary, so asking the children to touch their hairs, toucher la tête, toucher les épaules. And then the same with the food vocabulary, because we've got our la
To
banane
mine, yeah.
and the
Frites.
gâteau, yeah, frites, yeah, poisson, I know that one really well. And then the j'aime and je n'aime pas, so j'aime, je n'aime pas.
Sounds good.
Cool, thank you. Okay. I'm still doing most of Laura's French teaching, whole class teaching, and she's doing little bits, but she's doing the register in French and building that up a little bit and asking questions.
Bonjour Nathan, comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci, et toi?
Ça va bien, merci. Bonjour Chelsea, comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci, et toi?
Ça va bien, merci. Bonjour Matthew, comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci, et toi?
Ça va bien, merci. Bonjour Kaylee, où habites-tu?
Bonjour, j'habite à Forest-Ham.
Bonjour Charlie, quel âge as-tu?
Salut, j'ai 11 ans.
Merci Charlie. Bonjour Chloé, comment ça va?
Bonjour, mademoiselle Dawson. Ça va bien, merci.
Merci Chloé. Bonjour Jordan, ça va?
Comme ci, comme ça.
We did a few lessons where it was sort of, oh miss, you're not saying that right, this is how you do say it, which was really brilliant working with the children in that sort of way. We were sort of teaching each other, as it were, and they were then reinforcing their knowledge.
I like learning French because it's quite fun to do a different language and I think French is quite easy to learn as well.
It's that confidence building issue. So a little bit at a time, find the support and use it where you can. And it does get easier.
I wouldn't have said that in September at all, but you know, you do remember bits from being at school. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Samuel Barlow was one of 4 schools that I was working with in the area. I teach bits of the lesson, perhaps introducing vocabulary, perhaps more technical bits, and Paul then took over and did other smaller elements. And then in the 3rd term, he was teaching whole lessons.
Les mois de l'année.
May.
May. It's the month of May. Good. The planning side of it was an area that I wouldn't have known where to begin. And without help from Nicola, certainly in the first year to set that up, I think I'd have been wallowing. I really would. Répétez, s'il vous plaît, les mois de l'année.
Les mois de l'année.
Qu'est-ce que c'est les mois de l'année? Allez.
Months of the year.
The months of the year. Bon, c'est bon. Février. Répétez. Février.
Juillet.
Encore. They're a year 6 group, and we've been talking about how you would get on with meeting a French person, and what you would say to them and what you would want to ask them.
So if like you go abroad and that on holiday and you go to France and you want to speak to someone to say what's your name and how do you do and that, it helps you.
I think sometimes one tends to be a bit ambitious, and you ask children to produce more in terms of French than perhaps they're ready to do. And I think 1 or 2 of the lessons that I've taught haven't quite worked out as successfully as I'd hoped, because I think I was expecting too much of them. Août, joyeux anniversaire, septembre, joyeux anniversaire, octobre, joyeux anniversaire, novembre, joyeux anniversaire. The difficulty is pronunciation. When the children see French written, they do tend to read it as they see it, rather than as they hear you tell them to say it.
Mon anniversary is le 21 février.
Mon anniversaire, c'est le 1er of December.
Le 1er décembre, bon.
Le 16 juin.
Le 16 juin.
Le 8 février. Le 24 novembre.
Bon.
14 septembre.
Le 14 septembre.
Le 22 novembre.
Le 15 novembre.
Le 27 juillet.
Le 27 juillet.
It's good because if you go to like France and you meet someone and they ask you when your birthday is, you can tell them when it is and the date of it.
I think perhaps the bit in the months of the year, I would have liked to have dressed that up a bit more, I think, and made that more exciting for them, but wasn't quite sure how to do it. That would be a weak point, I think, that I would consider in that lesson. That's why I tried to link it, I think, to the song, so they could talk about the month of the year when their birthday occurred. I was pleased with the way it went and pleased with the way the children responded.
Definitely like learning it because I have been to France 3 times and it does help quite a bit to be able to speak their language, but most of the time they can speak a bit of English too. Au revoir.